Hello and welcome to this episode of Hoopatheticals. I apologise for the delay. It has been a very, very busy week. But we do have this episode now. I am very sad to say that the audio on my end did not record properly, so it does sound a bit weird, but if you leave it for like 5 minutes, you'll get used to it. And it is a really fun episode. It's got Will Pasznyk. We do 2 drafts and a fun game at the end. Check it out.
All right, welcome, Will Pasznyk, former housemate.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, good.
Thanks for having me on the show. First time, long time.
Thanks, mate.
Very excited to share my basketball knowledge, the wealth that it is, with the world.
Well, we're glad to have you. Now, I believe you have had some issues with my editing.
Yeah, it's very abrasive to say the least. So I'm looking forward to this sentence perhaps being edited out. And you're probably going to just pick it up right here. It just sounds very sharp, mate. I'm looking forward to how you edit out my content.
Well, thanks, mate. Now, I wanted to check. I do like to start these with a bit of a roast. Do you have any roasting of any of the former guests or me to kick this off?
Well, I do have to say it's funny that Tom likes to talk about his basketball prowess going back to, I think it was like primary school that he was talking all that mess. Yeah, that's just a load of nonsense. Ryan is probably the most bona fide basketball fan of them all, even though he is a self-admitted bandwagoner of the Miami Heat. So yeah, I put most respect on Ryan and trash Tommy a little bit.
Yeah, well, that is, I think, the correct way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, Will, I was wondering, what have you been up to in the quarantine? What's been going on?
Not a whole lot. I've just been trying to keep active as much as possible. Obviously, working from home makes that a little bit easier. You know, don't have to rock up to work super duper sweaty after a run or anything like that. Just pop straight into the shower and hey presto, I'm back and ready to go work. Aside from that, just FIFA, a lot of FIFA. So I'm a bit out of my wheelhouse here when it comes to talking basketball. So I'm really excited to share what sort of bandwagon knowledge I have.
Fantastic. Now, before we leave FIFA, how has that been going?
Oh, phenomenal. As I told you in a private message, I took Leicester City to a treble, which is three cups in the one season. Had to get rid of Kalichi this time. Kalichi in a nutshell. Shout out to him. He wasn't a superstar. Rafael Leao was my superstar. He was like a Kalichi in a nutshell, but better.
Oh. Well, there you go, mate.
Yeah.
A true GM amongst us. So, well, that's good because we are today's theme is drafting. So, I think that you've got at least the experience there to be ready for this.
Yeah, I've tried to do some Moneyball business on this one.
Oh wow!
I've been scanning over the numbers, seeing which rejects starting off the bench are going to be the best.
And also, since this last podcast went up, The Last Dance has come out on Netflix. Did you get a chance to watch it?
Yes, I did get a chance. And I'm very much liking the first 2 episodes that we had access to here on Netflix. It's really well produced and shot. I'm also very much enjoying the soundtrack of those old school rap beats. So, yeah, it looks very polished. I do like how they are throwing heat at Jerry Curse because he can't clap back because he's dead. So that's been good. I mean, it's interesting though because he definitely seems like a bit of a prick, but they're also giving him props for being able to put the team together. I do think the owner, whose name escapes me,
and me as well.
He just seems like he's trying to be as diplomatic as possible, but I think he was also a bit of a scumbag, if truth be told. Like telling Scottie Pippen, "Oh, you should wait. Like you shouldn't sign a 7-year contract. You should wait for me to give you more money." It's like, why would you tell someone that? You're wanting the best deal for your money. Why would you tell him that and then just blame it all on Jerry Curse? You know.
Yeah, he's it definitely seems like a false witness kind of situation. Like he's definitely reviewed the footage and gone, you know what? No, actually, I said something different. I actually am totally on Scotty's side. So excited to see how he plays his own innocence throughout the rest of the series. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, it is something to look forward to for sure.
All right. So as I mentioned before, we are doing a draft-based episode today. So in the first episode of Hoopatheticals, we did just one topic. In the second episode, we did about 4. Today, we're going to do 3, but 2 of them are drafting topics. And we've had some time to look at them. The first one that I wanted to kick off, it's one that I've thought about for a while, is that you are, in this Hoopathetical, you are drafting a new expansion team, but you can't use any starting players from other teams, only reserves. Draft your team, and we have to do 8 players. Now, it is going to be a snake draft, so you are going to select first, and then I'll get picks 2 and 3. You'll get 4 and 5, and so on.
Yeah, correct. And just to clarify to the plethora of listeners that we have, that when you say starters, you mean people who have started less than 50% of the games this season.
Yeah. Yes, it's quite confusing. We've had a particularly injury-heavy season, so some of these are quite hard to work out, but that is correct, yes.
Yeah, brilliant.
Awesome. Now, I thought to start it off with something a little bit fun. If you could start a new expansion team, where would you like to kick it off? Do you have a city in mind?
I mean, there's the story of the Seattle Supersonics always coming back. I was just having a scroll before and watched that. What are they called? Golden State. There we go. The Golden State Warriors, when they went to Seattle for, I think it was like an exhibition match or something. So there's the theater, the story behind coming back to a city that I very much enjoy, and I don't think there's many other cities that really deserve another basketball team. So,
wow,
yeah. I mean,
shots fired at Vancouver.
Nah, fuck Vancouver. Like if Seattle doesn't have a team, why should Vancouver have a team?
Yeah. Well, so I guess today then you'll be recruiting for the remade Seattle Supersonics.
The revamped Supersonics.
Yeah. And I will be the new GM of Vancouver's team that you don't like. The not-Grizzlies.
The Vancouver shitbags.
That's it. All right. So you've got the first pick. Again, just to recap, you can't select any players that have started more than 50% of the games for a club. So Pasznyk, who do you take with the first pick?
So with the first pick, it is something that I gave a lot of thought to around who I would want as my first pick. And it might be a bit of a controversial one. But with the first pick of this false draft, I pick Derrick Rose.
Wow.
Because he is technically not a starter. I think he's only started 10 out of 50 games.
Yeah, he's definitely available.
So I picked him up. He's handy with the scoring side of things, 18 points average this season, 5.5 assists, and also fairly reliable from the field, shooting at 49%.
Ooh.
So, yeah, he's...
Stats.
Oh, mate, I got stats.
Oh, yeah. Also, just so the listener knows, we actually had to delay the podcast because Pasznyk had so many stats ready to go. His internet was slowing down.
I mean, call it what you want. It was actually... I think it more had to do with the fact that you hadn't updated your computer yet. So...
That's getting edited out, mate.
As long as you just, edit it out midway through the sentence, that's all
All right, good.
So I've got my starting point guard in Derrick Rose.
All right, so you've gone for Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
All right, so with my first pick, I've also gone a point guard, someone that is going to get me buckets because I feel like let's bring some fans in, and that will be Lou Williams.
Yeah, nice. He was on my scouting list as well. One of the best 6 men of the league. In fact, probably the best at this current time.
Yeah, he also seems cool.
Yeah,
which I like. You know? So,
yeah, it's very valuable having someone who seems cool on the field. That's exactly what I've gone for in this fake draft.
Yeah, that's my stats for you, mate. Seems cool. Number 1 pick. Yeah. What have we got here? 3-point percentage. 36%. That's lower than I was expecting, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, how
But
about
18.7 points a game. I'm happy with that. For a bench player, give it to me.
also turning over the ball 2.8 times a game? So
You don't need everyone's stats here, mate. Let's keep it rolling.
all right.
All right. So that is my second pick. With my third pick, I thought let's keep him comfortable with someone he knows who to play with, or he knows how to play with. Sorry. I'm just going to re-say that. I'm going to edit that back in.
I can leave it as is. That was beautiful.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to select someone who he knows how to play with, a center to build my side out with. Give me Montrezl Harrell.
Oh.
So now we've got the reason I like that. They already know how to play together. They've got a great pick and roll game, and I've got scoring from both. So I'm happy with that.
Interesting.
Setting my offense off right. So that's my 2 picks.
Interesting. I thought you would have gone for DeAndre Jordan or something along those lines.
Oh, well, you'd be wrong, man.
Yeah, what?
Here you go.
You win some, you lose some, I guess.
That's it. All right, mate. Well, I can do some stats for you if you want.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Great hair, 18 points a game. I'm already staring down the barrel of nearly 40 points a game just from 2 players. Happy with that. He's nearly a 60% scorer from the field. And he takes 0.3 of a 3-point percentage and hasn't taken a single 3-pointer this year. Good. What are we looking at? 1.1 blocks, 1.7 assists, and 7 rebounds. So chill on that, mate.
Yeah, it's very tidy.
Yep.
All right, with the 4th pick of this this hypothetical draft. Got to stay on brand.
That's it, mate.
So with the 4th pick, I'm tossing up. I've got a 50-50 here, but I'm just going to go with my gut and go with the ring. Serge Ibaka. He's a point machine with average of 16 points a game so far this year, shooting 52 from the field. He's also a bit better from the free throw line. So if he does get sort of fouled in the paint, he's going to be more reliable than someone like an Andre Jordan. So that's why I've gone for Serge.
Very nice. I like that we both picked smaller centers at the moment. I think Montrez is 6'9", and Serge is 6'10".
Yeah, 6'10", 6'11", something like that.
Yeah, cool. All right.
So I guess is it my go for the next pick?
It is.
Oh. All right.
So you can put that other 50-50, the other side of that 50-50 down, mate.
Yeah, no, I think I might forego that.
Oh.
Let me see here. Everyone's still available. You know what?
Ooh.
I can feel Ryan just yelling at me through the podcast. But with the 5th pick of the Hoopatheticals draft, I take Jay Crowder.
Wow. Ryan must have sent you a telepathic message. Jay Crowder.
Wow. Yeah, it's a controversial one. I understand that. But averaging 12 points a game with shooting 44 from the field, 39% from the 3-point range as well, which is tidy for, I think he's what, 6'7".
Yeah.
Also, very high steal rating. So he averages 1.5 steals a game and turns it over 0.6 times a game. So yeah, he's in the positive for gaining possession. So that's why I like a bit of Jay.
All right. Well, I like your team at the moment. I'm starting to sense a bit of a theme here. We've got a little bit of like sort of stronger type players. Okay. All right. So I've got Montrez and Lou Will, and I got the next pick. I am going to go for someone who is going to give Lou Will some time off the ball so he can become a little bit more of a shooting guard. I'm going to go with the league leader in 3-point percentage this season and Bucks player George Hill.
Yeah, I thought you might. He was on my list as well. Very impressive stats. 53 from the field and 48 from behind paint. So, yeah, impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, what's he playing? Let's have a look at minutes per game. He's at 21 minutes and 9 points. So not great, but he's definitely steady, and he's a reliable option out on the wing. So
6.5 shots a game as well. He attempts the shot 6.5 times, and he gets it in a bit over 3 and a bit.
Yeah,
and doesn't turn it over as well. I like players who have under 1 turnover per game. He's a 0.9. So
sorry, just slides in there.
Just slides in there. Not net positive though, because he does only steal the ball 0.8 times a game.
Okay, well, again, Pasznyk, we don't need your stats all the time, mate. Let me
As I said,
do my own stats.
I've gone deep. I've gone for the Moneyball aspect.
Still looking for Brad Pitt to play you in the movie of your GMing of the Seattle Supersonics, mate.
Oh, well, when we do become famous, and the Hoopatheticals movie does come out, I want it to be known that I am Brad Pitt.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so I've got the next pick here. So we've got Derek Rose, Serge Ibaka, Jay Crowder at the moment versus George Hill, Lou Will, and Montrez. I've kind of got two kind of options here. Do I try and match your size and give me some options down low, should I feel like it? Or do I try and go opposite and go light and shooting and try and sort of outmatch you that way? I think I'm going to go. This is going to be quite controversial, I feel like. But I want someone big who can hit a 3. And I'm talking big size.
Interesting.
I'm talking your Phoenix Sun backup center, Aaron Baines.
Oh, interesting. What's his stats for shooting from the 3-point?
Let me give them to you, mate. His 3-point percentage is 35.
Okay.
Not bad. For a big man, not bad at all.
Yeah.
We're looking at 11.5 points a game.
Yeah.
We're looking at 4 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. Half a block, 0.2 of a steal, 1.2 turnovers. The more I'm reading this, the less I'm liking this decision. But 74% from the 3-point, but he does have a 58% 2-point percentage, which is not bad.
Okay.
So maybe give him a couple more down the block. But I just like the size of him. Set some screens, get Lou Will and George Hill open.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Not who I would have gone for, but that's just me. That's just. What do I know? What do I? I don't even watch basketball.
So that is my pick. I've got a little bit of size down here to match a little bit of a Serge Ibaka or a Jay Crowder.
Jez, the size queen.
That's it, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, I need a little bit of finesse and a little bit more shooting. So I'm going to pick up another guard. One of the highest rated 3-point shooters in the league, definitely the highest rated in his team. It is going to be none other than not Steph Curry.
That was my next pick. That's a good one.
The Dallas Mavericks. He's got some tidy stats. 50% from the field, 45 from 3-point range. Averaging around 12.5 points a game. Assists and rebounds are a bit lacking, but, only turns it over an average of once a game as well. So I'm trying to keep the turnovers to a minimum and keep that scoring high.
Wow, I think, and we know Tom Nixon's a fan of this selection from the podcast. He's a Seth Curry fan, so
non-closeted, a very much loud and proud Seth Curry fan is Tom Nixon. So I'm doing him proud and pick. What are we up to? Pick 8?
Yes. This is pick 9.
Pick 9, Seth Curry. There you go.
Oh, that was pick 8. Sorry. Now you're up to pick 9. Go ahead, man.
Here we go. So with the 9th pick, let me see. Again, I think I've got you on size still. So I might just go for another shooter. Let me roll this over a little bit. I think I'm going to go for someone who's perhaps a bit underrated, a bit of a journeyman. Jordan Clarkson.
He was on my list as well. Very interesting.
Yeah, I noticed earlier in the season start of the season when he got picked up. His stats are a little bit underrated. 48% from the field, and attempts the shot 12.5 times a game. So 14.6 points average. And turns it over minimally as well. So that's the theme that I'm going with.
Lovely. Lovely. All right. So you now have, just to recap for our audience, Derek Rose, Serge Ibaka, Jay Crowder, Seth Curry, Jordan Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm staring at a Lou Will, George Hill backcourt at the moment. Montrez and Aaron Baines up front.
Mm.
Okay. So now I need someone that's going to give me... I'm going to need some defense here, is my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need someone who can lock down whichever of your guards is going off.
Mm-hmm.
And that man is Marcus Smart.
Interesting. Yeah, this is a controversial pick as well because Marcus Smart, is he technically a starter?
No, I would say Kemba is the starter.
Okay. Well, how many games has he played this season, and how many starts has he had?
That's a good question. I've got him at 39 games started.
Right.
Is that half the season?
You tell me.
I think it is. All right. Well, Marcus Smart, thank you, mate. But your service is no longer required. Waived.
Because I did go with Marcus Smart in my preliminary research. I thought he was probably good enough for a number one pick, but
wow.
Well, he's someone that you can sort of build your team around. He's a star of the future, but I thought the fact that he's played over 50% or started over 50% of the games he's played makes him ineligible.
All right.
Sorry to call you out like a punk bitch, but
no, fair call. That's okay. Well, allow me, mate, to remove him from my team. Sorry, Marcus. I mean, you obviously wanted, but not required. Then here is my next selection. Someone with a high upside. I'm going for a little bit of youth here. This could be a bit of a longer game, but give me Kyle Kuzma.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what do I like about Kyle Kuzma? Had a bit of a dip in the stats this year. But he's peaked at 18.7 points per game.
That's all right.
This season, 12.5, so not as good there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got sort of an average 3-point percentage, average 2-point percentage, 1.3 assists, 4.5 rebounds. But what I like is the potential here.
Yeah.
So that's what I've gone for. Kyle Kuzma.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a bit of Kuz. He wasn't on my shortlist, though. I'll just give that away and just say wasn't on my shortlist. But yeah.
All right. And so that's potentially some sort of a starting five I've got there. It seems like I probably need a bit more shooting, though, in my opinion. Though I do have some good shooters. I do want someone else to keep giving me more threes. So I can potentially go a 3-guard lineup. And I've actually just thought of someone. And I might see if this guy has started enough games. This could be a late decision here.
Interesting. Gotten up to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't like how the defense is reading. So
okay, all right. This one should have come a lot earlier, and I'm surprised I didn't think of it. Give me someone who can run the offense, no matter who's in and who's out. Who's scoring 19 points per game this season off the bench? Started one game. Give me Dennis Schroeder.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good pick. He's on my short list for sure. 19 points a game, 4 assists, almost 4 rebounds as well, and very, very tidy from the field and from 3 points. Connects 2 out of 5 3-pointers that he goes for. So
not bad at all.
You pay that.
You absolutely would pay that. So that is my pick. There is we've got Dennis Schroeder, and I believe that's your turn, mate.
Yeah,
you're
cool. So with my 6th selection in the Hoopatheticals draft,
yes,
I am going to go for perhaps another controversial one. He's a first-year rookie. Plays for. Let me just double check. He plays for the Memphis Grizzlies. Actually from Vancouver, Canada. His name is Brandon Clark. Power forward who has got a bit of 3-point about him, which I like. He's shooting 40% from the 3-point line, which I like for someone who is 6'8". Yeah, he's a bit of size on him, and then also shooting at 62.3 from the field. So a lot to like about the youngster in his first season, averaging 12 points a game as well. So nothing to sneeze at.
Wow, very nice, mate.
Yeah. All right, so I've gone for Brandon. I need a bit more height. let me just think this. You know what? I think it's time to go for perennial all-star. A bit of a journeyman as well. He's not getting a lot of minutes this year. He's playing his role though. Back in La La Land, Dwight Howard.
He was on my list.
Yeah, he doesn't score a lot, but one stat that really stood out to me is he's attempted 5 3-points this season and has made 3. So he is an absolute weapon when he decides to shoot from 3. But yeah, we know Dwight. He's going to get the job done. Not from the 3-point line, the free throw line rather. Under 50%, which is brutal. But he will just sort of add a bit of height to my team. So that's always handy.
All right. Very nice. Very tidy. So you have one more selection left. I've got my last 2 picks to go right now. So with my second to last pick, you selected a rookie. I'm going to select a rookie as well. I want a legit sniper, someone who's going to hit some shots for me. And I'm going to select with my 7th pick out of 8, Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat.
Yeah, nice. On my list as well.
Yeah. So the reason you selected him is purely for 3-point stats. He's 12.9 a game. The man's 0.1 of a block, 0.6 of a steal, almost 2 assists, 4 rebounds. But we're looking at that 39% from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
That's what you're mostly looking at right there. So, and 85% or 83% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So just healthy stats. That's just someone you can throw in there and get you some buckets.
Yeah, you'd hope with that as well, he'd be nothing but growth for Tyler.
Yeah. So fingers crossed he does well on this team. And with my final selection, I've probably gone a little bit small. So give me a second. I might actually have to get my final selection was a point guard, but I think I've got too many. So don't mind me for 1 second here, mate. So names that are coming up in my head at the moment, just so you're aware, I've got Robin Lopez is someone, but I'm not entirely stoked with how that would potentially be. Another name that's come up in my head potentially is someone like a Taco Fall, just for the crowd attendance.
They fucking love Taco.
Yeah.
And why not? He's, 7'6"?
Yeah.
7'6", an absolute beast. Doesn't have a lot of hops. Doesn't need a lot of hops.
It doesn't need a lot of hops.
Yeah, just an absolute specimen.
Now, you know what? I'm just going to go my initial pick. I'm sorry to waste your time here, mate. I'm just going to go my initial pick and play small. Give me someone who's consistent, someone who can give my team guidance and calm them down if things are going off. We've got some young players here. We've got some sort of random, like, too cool for school Lou Williams. Give me someone who's level-headed. Give me Goran Dragic.
Interesting.
So that's my thoughts on that one, mate. Let me see if I can pull the man up here.
Yeah, let's hear some Goran stats.
Here we go, mate. So Goran is giving you 16.1 points.
Okay.
He started 1 game this season, so not bad.
Yep.
We've got a 37% 3-point. We've got a 49% field goal, and we've got a 76% free throw. Not a lot of defense coming off there, but 5.1 assists, nothing to sneeze at there.
Mm.
And 2.5 turnovers. So he's doubled it, which is nice.
Yeah.
So that's just a level head to come off the bench and keep the team happy.
Nice. Well, yeah, you've definitely gone for the small team, which I thought we were doing in the second round of this Hoopathetical, but you've decided to do it in the first round, which is your choice and also your funeral. Because I'm gonna look to tower over you. Now, I'm gonna pick a Latvian with my last pick. There's a plethora of them in the league now. Obviously, I wanted to pick Jez Paseckniks, my namesake, who's made it into the NBA for the first time this year with the Washington Wizards. But his numbers are pretty fucking piss poor, if you ask me. Averages 6 points for his 17 minutes per game. So that's not what I'm liking. I am liking someone who's already been brought up in previous podcasts and who you've trashed. And now he's going to trash you and your team. It is Davis Bertans. At 6'10", he is nothing but clinical and an absolute machine. His stats are good. I like it. It's 29 minutes and he's scoring 15 points a game, shooting 43% from the field. Also, doesn't mind a 3-point shot.
At all?
No, not at all. And hits them as well at 42%, which is nice for someone who is 6'10".
Yeah.
His other stats are just okay. 1.7 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and turns it over about 1.1 times a game. So that's going to be my final pick.
All right, mate. Well, good luck getting people in the stands with Davis Bertans.
I mean, we'll win so much. They'll just say, "Can you please stop winning?" That's what they're going to say about the reformed Supersonics.
All right. Well, I guess the second part of this sort of thing is to digest our teams and then see also how they would probably stack up in the NBA. So let's take a look at these lineups. If we were to just take it, just to eyeball it, let's have a look at these lineups and which one, just sort of explain your reasoning. I'll explain my reasoning and the listener can decide, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Well, starting at point guard, obviously Derrick Rose, seasoned vet, on the comeback trail, got a point to prove. So if that's not bringing people through the turnstiles, I don't know what will. And then rotating through at shooting guard, I've got Seth, not Steph Curry. Just, yeah, an all-round good shooter. So that's something that you want at that position. And then rotating through them, coming off the bench again. Sorry, Jordan. Jordan Clarkson will be coming off the bench to fill those two spots because I've only got 3 guards on my team. Yeah. And then at shooting forward, I would probably have... Yeah, I'm thinking Crowder over Bertans.
I would say so.
Yeah, Crowder, just a bit more of a seasoned vet, knows his things, and doesn't turn the ball over, which is what you want from a starter. Also, cleaning that glass as well with 5.8 rebounds. And also just a bit of a pickpocket with the 1.5 steals. Yeah. And then power forward position, I'm going for Dwight Howard. How could you not? Speaks for himself. Dunk champion. Just an all-round champion. Dwight Howard. And then, of course, the only center I have is Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, well, I like that you said Dwight Howard is an all-round champion. Man's never won an actual championship, but all-round champion nonetheless.
It counts, okay?
Well, very nice, mate. So a bit of got not a bad roster there. A little bit deep.
Yeah.
Towards the middle, which I don't mind. I'll go through mine quickly. 2 sets of teammates in mind, which I think is important. You got the familiarity. You've got the Lou, Will, and Montrez together, and you got Tyler Herro and Goran Dragic together. Yeah. Already know each other, so you got a bit of consistency there. We've got some potential people that can light it up in Kuzma and Schroeder, especially Schroeder off the bench. He knows how to play a 3-guard lineup in OKC, and he'll be doing it again here with potentially Dragic, Lou, Will, or George Hill, depending on how I want to roll it.
Very small thus far. Just pointing that
out. And then finally, the whole play is going to be quite small, this lineup, with Montrez probably being my starting center, and then you have an Aaron Baines coming off the bench.
Right.
So I would say that my starting lineup probably looks along the lines of George Hill, Lou Will. I would say maybe Goran Dragic, Kuzma and Montrez, so a little bit of a small ball start off, and we can go into a Schroeder Baines off the bench, Tyler Herro as well if we need some threes. Oh, and the second thing that we should do is see would either of our rosters beat any current rosters in the NBA?
Atlanta Hawks, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
And in fact, probably my team as well, or my former team, after they got sold to the Dallas Mavericks, the New York Knicks. Yeah, they're probably going to get torn up by my team.
I'd say the current Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, if they're not fit.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't see. You got Steph and Draymond, which is good, and then the rest of the people, I think, on 2K have to have a net rating of 60 or less.
Yeah, right. That's fair enough.
But yeah, all right. So there you go. Expansion teams, mate.
Yeah.
Looking for those number one picks.
Got him.
All right. So diving straight into question 2, mate.
Yeah.
This one I wanted to do because I thought it's interesting to see if the NBA had a height restriction. As we know, there have been some small players that have succeeded in the past. But what if the NBA imposed a new height restriction of 6'7"? Now we'll draft against each other to see who can build the best starting 5. Now people will probably be thinking, again, it's a snake draft. Again, people will be thinking there are some really good players under 6'7". And looking at my shortlist here, there are some really good names, but you've got to build a lineup. That's the important thing. You can't just go for the best names. So with that, and again, it will be a snake draft, but this time I do have the first overall pick. I want to go for someone who's going to give me a bit of everything. Your finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard.
Damn it. Okay.
That is my number one overall pick. I believe he is 6'7".
He is. He was on my short list.
So he can play center in this new league, but as we know, he can guard anyone. He's going to give you points, and the man can win you a championship. So give me Kawhi Leonard.
That's a very good first pick. So with my first pick, or my first 2 pick, I've sort of gone on the theme of what you were picking up before. I want 2 guys who know each other well, who play well together. It's a proven formula. And I'm talking none other than Steph Curry. And for pick 3, I will go for Klay Thompson.
Wow.
Splash Brothers.
That is a great starting lineup there, mate. You've got the defense with Klay.
Yeah.
Who is 6'6", so he's power forward center in this new NBA.
Yeah.
You got the 3-point shooting, and you got the familiarity.
Indeed. Amazing. Yeah. Gotta love it.
Wow. Anything else to say on that one, mate?
It speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Okay. All right, mate. Well, if you're going to go that way, I'm going to double down on my defense and then scorer. Give me the Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler.
Nice.
I like this pick. You've got the lockdown defense, and I think he's, 6'6"? He gives me another tall option that can guard a guard. So that's just sensible to me. So far, Kawhi and Jimmy Butler give me some nice defense, and they can give me a bit of scoring. But I need someone who's going to give me some more scoring, someone who I can rely on, and someone who's effectively unguardable. Give me James Harden.
Yeah, that's a reliable pick as well. Also, on the short list.
Yeah, and he's quite tall. I mean, he doesn't play a lot of defense, but that's fine. We've got some people that can pick people up. So I'm pretty happy with a Kawhi, James Harden, Jimmy Butler trio at the moment.
Yeah, and also James Harden very used to playing with a small team. So
very true.
Yeah. But I'm throwing basketball knowledge at you. What's up?
There you go, mate. I love it. You're not just a FIFA champion.
Not just a pretty face. All right.
Face for podcasting, mate.
I've got the face for it. So with my 4th pick, I'm gonna need a moment because Kawhi was gonna be. I think I just said 4th pick. I meant my 3rd pick. I think I'm just gonna go balls to the wall, score galore. My man, Luka Doncic.
Nice.
Yeah. Nothing you can say bad about the man. I mean, he's 2nd season in, is that right? And just putting up insane numbers. So the future's bright with him. He's my 3rd pick. 4th pick, another youngster. I'd probably put him at center just because he's got insane hops. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't, mate.
All right. Well, it's Zion Williams.
Oh, great selection. He wasn't even on my list, but that is a good call.
Yeah, under 6'7". I think he's 6'6".
Yeah.
But he has got springs for legs. So I'm thinking when the tip-off comes, he's probably going to be the best shout out of anyone under 6'7" to compete against a legit center. Unless, of course, it's Taco Fall or Rudy Gobert. But yeah, he's probably going to be my best chance at competing in that spot.
Wow, that's a great pick. All right. So my question is, do I counter, or do I feel like Kawhi can lock down Zion? I'm going to trust Kawhi. So to give you an idea, my head went a little bit, should I get Montrezl Harrell, who I believe is 6'7", as a center who has played center and can give me that center attitude that I don't think I'm going to get from anyone else in this lineup. The other person I was toying with was Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Not a scorer, but again, I can really increase that defense.
Yeah.
But I think I need an all-out scorer. And I think I'm pretty happy with the three I have to be my front court. So I'm gonna draft a backcourt here, mate.
Okay.
Give me Damian Lillard.
Nice.
Someone to counter your Steph with. He's got a little bit of a deep three. He's going to light it up from down there, and he is just an absolute weapon. And you know that he doesn't mind taking the last shot, which is good.
Yep.
And then I think, give me someone else who's going to... What have I got here? Kawhi, Jimmy Butler, James Harden, Lillard. So I've got a lot of three-point scoring. Give me my other man that can go inside and score it. Give me Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that way I've got the athleticism at point guard to mix this up. Everyone else out here is kind of athletic, but I don't have anyone that can really charge in and start creating some collapsing defenses. So that's my Russell Westbrook pick, and that's my 5.
Nice.
Who's your final pick, Matt?
I, like you, have toyed with the idea of a Draymond just to bolster up my defense, because I don't think my starting... It's not terrible, but it's not impenetrable. But that said, I don't really like his discipline. If I'm perfectly honest, I feel like if I've got him, on the team, it does have that sort of Golden State vibe, which also it might be a bit played at this current time. So I might need to mix it up a little bit. I might just say fuck it and go with Gordon Hayward.
What? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 6.
Explain yourself.
I can't. You stole Kawhi Leonard, and that's really thrown me through a loop. Can we edit this out? I might actually change my pick.
I'm not going to edit it out, but you can change your pick. Honestly, that was too confusing for me to even understand.
Yeah,
he wasn't even on my list.
Yeah, no, he wasn't on my list. It was a panic pick. It was a Ryan Leaf. I'm just going to go Brandon Ingram.
Yep, nice.
Up and cover.
Better call.
6'7", can score, can clean the boards when required. So, yeah, that's my go.
Makes sense. I think you've definitely improved your pick there.
Yeah, that was brain fade, to say the least.
Yeah, that's all right. So just other names that people can know that was on my list. I had Bradley Beal was someone else that I was tossing up with.
Interesting. And
D'Angelo Russell. But that was pretty much it.
Yeah, D'Lo was also on my list, but I thought I've got Steph and Clay, and they've already proven that D'Lo doesn't really work with that combination. So,
oh, look at that! Throwing a little bit of actual history in there for that Hoopathetical. Very nice, mate.
Well, I thought this was a factual show, so I just bring facts.
Well, you'd be wrong, mate. Let's go straight into. So now we're up to the final Hoopathetical of the day. And this one is a little bit more of your opinion, The other ones you could look at stats and decide. This one is a little bit give your own opinion. And the hypothetical 3 is you are an NBA player that's about to be drafted. Which NBA team would you least like to get drafted by? Now, in the Word document that I sent to you, I've said this doesn't just have to be with the current team situation. You can look at any factor that you like, and it can be as petty as you like. So, Pasznyk, which NBA team would you least like to get drafted by?
Well, I like to do a well-rounded reason on why I wouldn't pick a team. And I think just the state of their list, the fact that they are in buttfuck nowhere, it's cold, and they're a bit of a nothing organization. I'm going to go for the Minnesota Timberwolves is the least favorite team to be drafted to. You've only got 2 people on there who you could even say halfway decent in D'Angelo Russell and Carl Anthony Towns. How they got D'Angelo Russell baffles me.
Yeah.
Absolutely baffles me how they convinced him to go up north. But yeah, that just looks like a miserable lineup. And I've never been to the US, so I can't really speak to it. But I guess Minnesota doesn't sound like a fun place to go.
Very fair. Yeah, to be honest, I had a short list of 3 teams. They were on there. And I have a Minnesota Timberwolves jersey. So that's how bad that is. So you've selected Minnesota. I definitely agree. Probably has, of all my options, the worst weather.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 options, and I'll let you know which ones they are. So I've got Memphis. Now, Memphis has something good in Ja Morant. But if you look at the rest of the roster, it's only okay.
Right.
I think they were lucky. If they didn't stumble into the 2nd overall pick, they would be potentially one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Not entirely stoked with their uniform, and the Memphis Grizzlies as a concept doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
So all of that was one factor. Again, I had Minnesota, but I had to go with this team as the last one because its vibe makes absolutely no sense.
Can I guess
You can. Wait, let me lay out some more things, and then you can absolutely take a guess. I hate its roster. Absolutely hate it.
Okay.
Its uniform sucks. Its courts suck. No one goes to their games. And I'm going to save the rest of the things I would say until you guess. So who do you think this team is?
All right. Well, originally when you said it doesn't make any sense, I thought you were going to say the Utah Jazz because we all know that Mormons do not like jazz music. But when you said pretty much everything else about the team sucks, I am going to say, I'm going to say the Sacramento Kings.
You'd be wrong.
Damn.
Not a bad guess though. Also, I feel like if I went to the Utah Jazz, the headline of Utah Jazz is too obvious for me to avoid. So I feel like that would be awesome. But it is not the Kings, though they are a bad organization, but they are in California, which I think is redeeming. I think, which means good weather.
Yep.
The team that there's nothing going on there. The vibe's strange. The uniforms suck. The courts suck. The roster sucks. The only redeeming feature is the owner / GM. We're talking the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like, first of all, a nothing organization, never won anything.
Yeah.
Their highlights are basically having Chris Paul, and I'd say that's pretty much it. Nothing about them screams they want to win.
Yep.
They're in this weird middle ground between they can't seem to get the 1st overall pick and they can't seem to decide if they want to be in the playoffs or not. And to be honest, I've never watched a game with the Charlotte Hornets and gone, wow, that was good. Everything stinks. So I would least like to get drafted by the Charlotte Hornets.
That's a fair call. I'm just looking at their roster now. I think the last thing you'd want to do when you've got some downtime, you don't want fucking Willie Hernangomez and Dwayne Bacon. Dwayne Bacon. Who is that? And Cody Zeller as well is just trash. So yeah, it's a confusing team to say the least.
Yeah. All right. Well, Will Pasznyk, thank you for being on this episode of Hoopatheticals. Any final comments, mate?
Bring back the Bobcats. But thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to to listening to how you've cut up and misrepresented my quotes.
I'll send it to your lawyer first.
Yeah,
mate.
please do. You've got his email. No, but I appreciate having me on, mate. It's been fun.
No, it's been a pleasure. All right, well, thank you. And as always, guys, the name is up for sale. Please send me an offer. It is hoopatheticals@gmail.com. I have it. It's also a YouTube channel. I own everything. Please buy it.
A fire sale at Hoopatheticals.
Please. All right, well, Will Pasznyk, thank you very much.
All right, peace.